perception of her.
Yeah, that is deep. You know, she's been being for a long time. Since a kid, she's been being bro. You know,
there's so much pressure to be feminine.
You look very attractive tonight.
Thank you.
All right, folks, buckle up because the drama just went next level. In a jaw-dropping twist that has the internet on fire, Orlando Brown dropped some serious bombshells about none other than Raven Symoné. And trust me, this tea is piping hot. And just when you think the tea couldn't get any hotter, it does. Orlando Brown isn't the only one talking. Raven herself has come forward, sharing her own heartbreaking story. She reveals she was mistreated and forced into some truly disturbing situations as a child star. Brown claims that the Raven Symoné we all adored on screen wasn't just hiding behind her bubbly persona. Oh no, the story goes much deeper. He's alleging that Raven actually concealed her true gender to land her iconic role with Disney. Yeah, you heard that right. Let that sink in for a second, but believe me, it doesn't stop there. Orlando didn't hold back, going on to claim that Raven, during her younger years, was involved in something far darker, working as a prostitute while still underage. These shocking accusations have left fans reeling, setting social media ablaze with debates. Whether these claims hold any truth or are just Hollywood gossip, one thing's certain. This is a bombshell no one could have predicted. And here's the kicker. Her own parents were the ones pulling the strings, dragging her into a nightmare for the sake of fame and fortune. It's the kind of betrayal that is hard to even fathom. Brown's not here to play games. He's standing firm, determined to protect his mental health and emotional well-being. If that means telling his truth about Raven and the industry, then so be it. And he's making a strong point. Parents of child stars who allow this kind of abuse, they should be held accountable, period. Raven even mentioned that while filming The Cosby Show, she'd sometimes zone out and had no idea how she ended up in certain situations. While she didn't outright say it, the implications are chilling. Was someone drugging her? It sure sounds like it. The takeaway here is crystal clear. Parents are supposed to protect their children, and when they fail to do so, the consequences are devastating. This entire situation is not just heartbreaking, it's eye-opening. And guess what? This saga is far from over. Stay tuned, because things are only going to get juicier from here.
Blackout.
I would appreciate it if it will not appear anyway.
On The Cosby Show, you were the world's sweetheart.
My sexuality, I knew that this can't be talked about.
What happened to Raven on The Cosby Show?
I didn't want to tell my parents. I knew I couldn't say it out loud, but that eats at your soul. That eats at your soul.
Raven has been performing in front of 44 million people since she was 3 years old.
There's a lot of rules in place. How cute can you be? How sexy can you be without showing?
Y'all ain't ready for this tea. Was Raven Symoné pushed into the fast life while she was still stuck under that strict Disney contract, dear? Orlando Brown is back at it again, spilling all kinds of mess about how Raven was supposedly forced into some wild, grown situations while she was still a child. Now hold up, according to Raven herself, Disney didn't just have her acting, she was mistreated, shoved on some crazy diet to slim down, all to keep her looking cute for some creeps watching her every week on TV. And let me tell you, her parents, baby, they pushed her into this Hollywood craziness when she was just 7 years old. And since then, she's never been the same. They didn't just take away her right to be sexy, they straight up manipulated her into doing some disturbing stuff, promising her fame. It got so bad she had to leave it all behind and quit the whole industry at the height of her career. But before we dive deeper into that drama, let's rewind to when Raven first stepped onto the scene. Now, before Raven blew up on Disney's hit show That's So Raven, let me remind y'all, sis was already making waves. She had already done her thing on The Cosby Show, where she played Bill Cosby's step-granddaughter, and on Hangin' with Mr. Cooper as Nicole Lee. But listen, it was That's So Raven that had her out here like a household name, with Disney putting her on the map for real. And don't forget, she was a whole cheetah girl and even dropped some tracks under Disney too. But all that fame, baby, it came with a whole lot of baggage. Raven has spilled the tea about how industry execs were always on her about her weight. They would be like, "Oh, you're getting too big, you need to watch what you eat." Sis said that this pressure started when she was just 7 years old during her time on The Cosby Show. They had the nerve to tell a child not to eat on set and wouldn't even bring food around her. Can you believe that? She wasn't even 10 yet, and they were already messing with her mind like that. Dear, they were straight up starving that girl on set, and they knew exactly what they were doing. Raven was sometimes working 12-hour days, and they had the nerve to deny her food. She even said, "I remember not being able to have a bagel or anything. We called it crafty. A table full of food just sitting there, and I wasn't allowed to touch it. Folks would say, 'You can't eat that, you're getting fat.' And she was like, 'I'm 7 years old and I'm hungry.' Y'all, that's just cruel."
I wish I was living now as a younger person. I probably wouldn't have so many mental issues.
Throughout your life, through your career, the things that were said to you. Do you remember anything in particular that sort of haunts you, that someone said to you at an early age about the way you look that still affects you today?
I was too big to be doing an 1.5-hour concert. I don't know how she can dance being that big.
Wow.
And I was like, and I still did it. I went on tour forever because it's not about your size. It's about what you have to say, if you can sing or dance, and performing. It's not about your size.
But if you think that's bad, it doesn't stop there. Raven was also forced to hide her true self, her sexuality. Also, she could stay marketable to the men watching her. Yes, it's that deep. They literally made her fake relationships with men to keep the image alive.
My likeness, whether you see it in an interview, whether you see it on print, whether you see it, however you see it at that time, had 15 people dictating what I should and should not look like. If I did whatever I want, I'm not gonna sell because it doesn't go with the brand. I was branded at such a young age. And then you wonder why all of these child stars have these issues. You were not allowing them to grow up as human beings. You were stifling them at the youngest and most important development age of their time, and then you expect them to be normal later? I never thought I would ever come out. I never thought I would come out because my personal life didn't matter. It was only what was supposed to be sold as, the Raven Symoné brand. So it was something that I always thought in my head, I'll always have a friend. I'll have a husband and I'll have a friend on the side so I can be happy. So I can have both, taken care of. I get this, you get the beard, you get whatever. That didn't last. I don't care anymore because I fell in love. And I was kind of over the industry. I wanted to retire.
And for those who didn't know, one of those men Raven had to date just to hide who she really was, none other than Orlando Brown. Yep, you heard that right. Both Raven and Orlando starred in That's So Raven together, and their teams came up with the bright idea to make Orlando her cover-up boyfriend. They thought this would keep people from talking, but oh baby, the truth always comes out. Now, fast forward to 2016.
Well, speaking of Raven and Mickey Mouse, you had that line in No Fear.
Yeah.
You know what line I'm talking about?
Yeah, tell Minnie Mouse to suck my sack like Raven did when she was black. When you hear that rat-a-tat, I suggest you cat. Yeah, well, I meant just that.
Just that?
Just that, yeah.
So what do you mean to say like Raven did when she was black?
I mean, I told you in the first interview, I mean, she gave me, and then I gave her some, yeah.
When Orlando was asked about his relationship with Raven, he wasn't too keen on spilling all the details, but he's been very vocal about how the industry forces underage kids into doing some real dirty, despicable things. And let's not forget, Raven has been rumored to be a victim of some of that mess too. Orlando later confirmed all the whispers during a sit-down interview with Camp Capone News, where he straight up said he witnessed a lot of sinister, messed up things happening behind the scenes in Hollywood stuff that haunted him for years.
A lot of things that will make you buckle, bro. They make you buckle, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause man, people done lost their families, bro. People done lost their kids and shit. People, a lot of stuff.
But wait, honey, Orlando wasn't done spilling the tea. He revealed that one of the reasons the industry gets away with doing all this horrific stuff to child stars like Raven is because their parents are often in on the whole situation. Can you believe it? He said that these parents see the cash their kids bring in and start allowing the industry to do whatever it wants with them.
There's shipping and trafficking and people, adults, the moms, the dads, right there on Target commercials, right there on Walmart commercials.
and you're looking at the people that are missing, and they're smiling like they're happy, but they're going back to hell. You know, I just think that, you know, people just need to realize what they're looking at when they're watching the television. Everything is right in front of you. The revolution was televised, and don't nobody give a shit.
All for that paper, it's like they're turning a blind eye to the exploitation. All because they're chasing that money. That's just heartbreaking. They're sacrificing their kids' well-being for a paycheck. And that's the real tragedy in all this mess. And it gets even worse, y'all. Orlando isn't the only one calling out the exploitation of child stars in Hollywood. Nah, honey, other celebs have stepped up to share their stories too, but just like Orlando, they've been labeled as crazy. One of the most notable voices is Corey Feldman, another child star who faced some serious demons.
That there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
And they are.
And they do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
Are you saying that they're pedophiles?
Yes.
And that they're still in this business?
Yes.
Corey's truths were often dismissed. People just chalked it up to his past addictions, thinking he was just talking out of his head for attention. But listen, in 2020, Corey dropped a bomb with his documentary, My Truth, where he name-dropped everybody who allegedly assaulted him, including actor Charlie Sheen and talent manager Marty Weiss. And it didn't stop there. These shocking allegations were backed up by Corey's ex-wife, Susie Feldman, and even his Lost Boys co-star. That's a whole lot of voices coming together to shed light on some dark truths. Jameson Newlander, who witnessed some of that mess firsthand, also chimed in. Now, let's rewind to Raven. She made headlines again a few years back when it came out that Bill Cosby was a full-on predator, assaulting multiple women in the industry, including underage girls. You know, folks started asking questions about whether Raven was one of the many girls he inappropriately touched, especially since she starred in The Cosby Show before Disney snatched her up. If Bill was out here doing these nasty things to others, who's to say he didn't set his sights on Raven too? What's wild is that as these speculations started swirling, Raven came out with a statement saying Bill never touched her. She hopped on Instagram and wrote, "I was not taken advantage of by Mr. Cosby when I was on The Cosby Show. I was practically a baby on that show, and this is a truly disgusting rumor that I want no part of. Everyone on that show treated me with nothing but kindness. Now, keep me out of this." But let me tell you, literally no one bought that statement. It sounded like it was crafted by her team, not Raven herself. People speculated that her team probably put out that message because they didn't want her to relive any trauma. And it gets even deeper. Y'all, that statement Raven put out had some major inconsistencies that made it clear she wasn't on board with it. For instance, she claimed that everyone on the show treated her with nothing but love and respect. But hold up, this is the same Raven who called out the show for forcing her into an extreme weight loss diet when she was only 7 years old. I mean, come on now, that's just shady. But wait, there's more. Recently, Orlando Brown popped up in an explosive interview with Real Life Productions where he dropped a whole new batch of drama. He revealed that he and Raven have been feuding for a hot minute because she doesn't appreciate him airing out all her trauma on the internet. Baby, the drama just keeps escalating. Orlando didn't hold back. He accused Raven of trying to kill him and even attempting to kidnap his kids.
Raven been going through a lot, bro. She been trying to kill me. She kidnapped my kids, all kind of. She been doing something. So it's kind of hard for her to come out and everybody knows she been doing for so long.
But wait, it gets juicier. He dropped a bombshell claiming that Raven was being prostituted in the industry since she was a child. Can you imagine? He alleged that her family was in on it, just sitting back and watching her get passed around like some kind of escort.
I would love to hear Raven's truth of her perception of her.
Yeah, that is deep. You know, she's been being prostituted for a long time. Since a kid, she's been being prostituted, bro. You know, her mom, dad, nobody give a fuck about her, bro. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares, bro. No,
Now, it's unclear where Orlando got all this tea, but y'all gotta remember, they had a whole PR relationship at one point, so if anyone knows her inside and out, it's definitely him. Plus, they starred on a TV show together and kept in touch for a few years after the show wrapped, until Orlando fell into his substance addiction. It's just downright disgusting how the industry has toyed with Raven's life. But the truth is finally coming to light. Orlando isn't holding back anymore, and he's ready to expose everything, speaking his mind and laying it all out there. As always, the internet had a field day with this mess. One commenter chimed in saying, "Everything he says here is true. Behind all the craziness, he's telling us the truth, disguised as insane talk and hyperbole. What happened to Raven happened to all child celebrities, no exceptions. Even people you wouldn't expect this entertainment industry is sick, and you know that's real talk, but not everyone was on the same page." Another person clapped back saying, "I'm very upset with you, Orlando. Whatever happened to Raven was personal. It was her story to tell whenever, if she decided to tell it. You had no right to put her on blast like this. She may not be ready to deal with the mental and emotional aspect of having the world know what happened to her. You betrayed her, dude." And that's a valid point too. It's a classic case of the double-edged sword. Some folks want the truth, while others feel it's not Orlando's place to air out Raven's dirty laundry. Either way, this whole situation is messy and has folks divided. Raven might not be ready to tackle the mental and emotional fallout of having her story out in the open. Orlando really put her on blast, and it's got people questioning his motives. Was it a betrayal? You bet. Now I want to hear from you. What do y'all think about Orlando exposing the industry like this? Do you believe Raven was really being prostituted around Hollywood? Y'all know what to do. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and let's get this conversation popping. And don't forget to click here to check out this other very messy video. You won't want to miss it.